9 degrees, 13 degrees, 8.7 on Sunday. Oh my goodness. National hotspot was in Fredericton, but we weren't far behind. 25 degrees in Toronto, and I can tell you it felt about the same in Muskoka. I actually went swimming. I wouldn't say it was warm, but it was lovely to be swimming in a refreshing lake and seeing the fall colors all around. Look at this, 23 degrees. Mark, let's bring you into this. I mean, it's fall officially. It still kind of feels like summer at times, but, you know, is that normal?
Yeah, well, you know what? It does actually, it's tornadoes as late as November.
And some of that heat will help to fuel the potential of some of these storms, right, Mark?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we'll get a lot of forcing through here as we get not crazy about getting up really early, that early in the morning. Don't like
you're just going to have to take one for the team, as you are today, standing in the sunshine. Thank you very much. So, not unheard of course, to get these big warm-ups. We're going to enjoy these hot spells as long as we can, because much cooler air coming. In fact, it's been snowing in northern Ontario today. Cold front slides through. Yeah, if you blink, you missed it, right? It's not a lot of moisture. I'll show it to you again. There's the low in the north and some showers to the north end of Georgian Bay right now, coming down through the GTA. Tuesday afternoon, clouds are clearing out. We'll see some maybe sunny breaks tomorrow, but overall it's a gray day with the showers in the morning and the early day risk of storms like Mark mentioned for southwestern Ontario. Now, as we look ahead, are we seeing any mid-20 temperatures? Well, that's not too bad, is it? 23 for Toronto on Thursday, and a decreasing amount of cloud cover, an increasing amount of sunshine. Friday is, however, looking a little bit wet, and you may be planning to spend time like Simcoe, Barrie, the big fall fishing tournament coming up this weekend. Well, at the moment, it looks like we'll start to clear out from those showers early on Saturday, but certainly noticeably cooler for the weekend. More weekend temperatures coming up with your local forecast.
Hey, thanks a lot to Deb Midichka. I'm Jacqueline Woodall. Let's take a look at your temperatures.
I love Deb and Jacqueline, and so do you. But do you want me to go back to Calgary, or do you want to find out what's going on in Caledon and Toronto? Yeah, okay. Well, we thought we'd come into this studio because you're watching right now. So what's happening in Mississauga and Muskoka? Well, this low is still to the north, and it can stay there as far as I'm concerned because there's been snow with it today. Big ridge in the jet stream. The hot weather that happened last week in the prairies, it came to us this weekend. It was a glorious weekend, wasn't it? But what's this cold front going to do to our temperatures? Well, let's zero in on it right now. This is an actual view of satellite, which shows you cloud cover, and radar, which shows you precipitation. Anything in blue or pink has snow as part of that component. That is certainly a mixture in the pink there. Oh, the snow's ended north of Timmins. Isn't that nice? There's a band of showers coming through Espanola, heading over towards Killarney, and eventually to make it down towards Caledon and Kitchener. Pretty quiet right now. Beautiful weather. Niagara to Tobermory, it's the Bruce Trail Day on Sunday. We've got cooler weather for the weekend if you prefer to hike in cooler conditions. Got a few showers. Yeah, you blink and you miss them. Let's take a look at this forecast. Okay, the blue areas are rainfall. I'm going to take you back to the beginning because it sure looks short-lived, doesn't it? That low is getting a little weaker as it comes down past Simcoe. Tomorrow morning, showers, maybe a thunder shower in southwestern Ontario, but pretty quiet for us this evening and overnight. Pre-dawn, some showers. I would expect 20% chance of showers rising to a 70% risk in the morning, and the rainfall close to 10 millimeters across southern Ontario. So this is not a great deal. 20 to 30 millimeters overall in parts of the north. Tuesday's forecast, that is a drop from today of about 5 degrees, but 18 is normal for us at this time of year. Yes, it is. Reality check. I don't know about you, but I'm in huge denial about summer finishing. I did swim on the weekend in a rather chilly lake north of Huntsville, but it was totally survivable. I just told myself it's like an ocean temperature, and it really is. So cool and refreshing. Tomorrow is going to be cooler. The showers refreshing. The temperatures pretty mild, pretty comfy. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we get our next round of rain, and unlike tonight's cold front, albeit it's brought snow to Kapuskasing and Geraldton and parts of northern Ontario. But unlike that cold front, this one will cool our temperatures down. There's Friday, 18 to about 20 degrees. Now, we're still at a long-range forecast time frame here, so we're not going to be able to pinpoint with absolute certainty the timing, but it does look like both a wet and a windy system, and wind and stronger systems are typical as we get more deeply into fall. It's quite an extended boundary of low pressure, and it will take our temperatures down. It looks like preliminarily 12 and 13 for forecast highs coming up this weekend. So that's the outlook for Toronto, a really decent week with some cooler conditions for the weekend. Find out more with your local forecast. It is, and if you don't, well, you do now. It's a Lancaster bomber. Just a key role, of course, in World War II, and one of only two still flying, still able to fly, and it was over in the UK for a great summer of air shows. And I had the pleasure of seeing a Lancaster fly overhead. Now, ours had a bit of engine trouble, so I didn't see the pair. I saw the English one, but just an exciting bit of stuff. And that's Hamilton, where it makes its home. Yeah, you can go there. There's that fantastic museum at the airport. Hey, it's a beautiful day in Southern Ontario. Been a beautiful day. Beautiful evening in store, well, depending on where you are. If you're in Northern Ontario or talking to friends and family there, it's been snowing today in places like Geraldton and Kapuskasing. No snow for Kitchener, though, or for Caledon, Orangeville, lovely Orangeville, Barrie, Newmarket, Sharon, Oshawa, Ajax, Whitby. Pretty quiet night tonight. Temperatures in the teens. Hey, did you see the Northern Lights on Friday night? No, I didn't either. I looked for them. It was supposed to be a great sighting. Of course, that depends on sky cover and on latitude, but a more southerly viewing range. But I didn't see them from north of Huntsville. There are those overnight temperatures I was talking to you about. Tuesday afternoon forecast highs, cooler but seasonal. And the reason for this, that low pressure system's coming in. It could help to trigger some thunderstorms early in the day. Southwestern Ontario, the timing for rain for us here in Mississauga and Markham would be a pre-dawn start. So likely your morning drive will be wet, at least damp. There's not a lot of rain forecast for the south. There's more for the north, and the rain will continue during the day and then start to wind down. High pressure sticks around Wednesday, Broadridge all the way out to the Atlantic provinces, but low pressure is converging, and although the timing details are still a bit up in the air, it is looking increasingly likely that we will have, after a very sunny Thursday, a very unsettled Friday. And check out the weekend temperatures with your local forecast coming up. It was 9 yesterday, slightly warmer today, but 9 was the high. My goodness. They hit the hottest day of the year last week. It was 33 degrees. We had a warm weekend. I wouldn't maybe call it hot, but certainly for late September, decent stuff, mid-20s, and that's over 5 degrees above normal. I spent the weekend up north. Fantastic to see the fall colors. They are at peak in many areas around Algonquin and Muskoka. There's the art show, the studio tour, the fall studio tour. Yeah, the second weekend's coming up. Fishing derby or a fishing festival in Barrie as well. Okay, fine. I'll get back to the weather for you. As the weather dictates a lot of what we, of course, do or our enjoyment level when we're outside. This is all rain now, but earlier today there was a little bit of blue still lingering. We had snow in Kapuskasing. This rain, notice how the low weakens a bit as it comes south. We'll see showers tomorrow, but by Tuesday afternoon, it's pretty much all done. Best chance of a wet commute would be tomorrow morning, and thunder and lightning certainly possible in southwestern Ontario. Not as likely up towards the GTA, and close to 10 millimeters of rain, which is not a lot. So don't neglect, as a gardener, watering your pots at this time of year. I checked all mine this morning. One was extremely dry. The others were still okay, but we have had a fairly warm and dry spell through the weekend. Up and down. We'll be up with our temperatures and our sky cover, down a bit for Friday, and then a cooler weekend, certainly. And it's an exciting weekend for those that love the Bruce Trail. Sunday is Bruce Trail Day. A little showery up at the Tobermory end, a little drier down at the Niagara end. What a story. I know that this captivated so many of us today. And thankfully, a happy ending. And Norwich, Ontario, by the way, is west of Hamilton. It is just southeast of Woodstock, southwest of Brantford. You saw Brant County signs there. The conditions were actually pretty cool last night. It was fairly mild overall, but we got down to about 11 Hamilton International under clear skies. So that's pretty cool to be spending a night out in a cornfield. But the little girl apparently doing very well. After a couple of hours, she was up playing and laughing with her bigger sister, running around after being checked out, medically speaking. All right, the science of weather. We'll get back to all of that now. Just a really good ending to a scary story. And then kind of, scary weather. Some might say, look at these temperatures. -2 in Geraldton. It was snowing this morning in Kapuskasing. Yes, it was snowing when I came in to have my briefing with Jacqueline Whitall, my co-host here. 18 degrees Toronto on Tuesday. No, we won't have any snow, but we will get some precipitation from the same system that brought the snow to Kapuskasing and Geraldton. 18 degrees, 60% chance of showers. The better chance of rainfall for the commute period would be in the morning commute rather than the afternoon drive. And Wednesday's looking good. We bounce up again for temperatures. High pressure clearly in control again over just about all of eastern Canada. But low pressure coming out of the prairies and the U.S. trying to conspire to converge on us with a certainly wetter, windier, and then cooler end to the week. Coming up, we'll take a more in-depth look at your local forecast. Oh, that was definitely a chapter to forget. That flood in Burlington, did it affect you? Or someone you know? It affected my director, John, and his family, among others. That was certainly a brutal little chapter you'd like to put on one side. Top 5. Calgary had, of course, the big flood last year. 14 degrees. Let's segue to today's weather and contrast it to Sunday, where we were way down to 8.7 in Regina. They were in the 30s last week. We were basically 30 in Fredericton, and we were in the 30s in terms of some humidex values in southern Ontario, how it felt on the weekend. Current situation, there's the low to the north and that ridge in the jet stream. Not a lot of warm air in Western Canada, but stable conditions about to become unstable. And we're going to have kind of a changeable week. It's typical in fall. Show you what's beautiful and typical in fall coming up in just a second. Cooler air is sinking south. This is about 30 millimeters of rain, parts of northern Ontario, far less for the south. So you can see by Tuesday afternoon, cold fronts come through. We'll have some showers, but not a lot of energy to work with here. The risk of thunderstorms, southwestern Ontario, mainly, and it does include the Niagara region, but mainly outside of the 400 corridor to the west of the GTA. As we take a look at rainfall, the heaviest amounts are in the north, as I mentioned, and our temperatures don't really get affected. We'll go back up on Wednesday, but that's because we've got sunshine moving in. Friday's a different story. Friday, we could be both windy and wet and setting up a cooler start to the weekend. We'll talk more about the weekend coming up with your... Thanks so much, Kim. And now my pleasure, Suzanne Leonard and the team, to take you on a trip across the country in the next 80 seconds. Big ridge in the jet stream, but no big heat. Remember last week I was telling you, it's 33 in Regina and Brandon. And then we had the good weekend, and they've cooled down. Even though the jet stream's a little further south here, our temperatures are hanging on to the mid-20s. What we do have is a boundary of low pressure. That is rain showers to the north, but north of Timmins, we had snow today. Yes, we had snow in Ontario. 2 degrees in Kapuskasing, while it was 24 in Toronto. And sunny, I might add. Tomorrow, not sunny, cloudy with showers. The showers will peter out during the latter part of the day. Morning drive, likely to be wet. Pre-dawn is when the showers start. Overnight, just a 30% chance of showers, but it's up to 70 for tomorrow morning. And how about 10 millimeters or so, give or take, depending on where you are in southern Ontario. It's not a great deal, and these are normal temperatures, but it will feel sharply cooler or significantly cooler compared to today and our mild, balmy weekend. There's Wednesday in the 20s and Thursday as well. Changes for the weekend are coming, and I encourage you to stick around for your local forecast that's coming up, plus force of nature.